Hello and welcome to the Blu-Review. Today we are talking about Gimme Shelter from the Criterion Collection. Gimme Shelter is a documentary about the Rolling Stones' free 1969 concert at the Altamont Speedway and the sort of shenanigans and crap that goes on therein. It's really sort of two parts. One is the camera crew sort of following the Rolling Stones, a little behind the scenes, but mainly a lot of concert footage and footage of the audience and stuff, coupled with the Rolling Stones and the directors in the actual editing room, looking at the film and kind of reacting to it. This is not sort of giving anything away because they really put this up on Front Street very, very early in the film. There is a murder that takes place in this movie. It is a real murder. It actually happened, and they show part of it in the actual movie. And the thing is, that makes this film very ominous, because essentially what this is the Rolling Stones decided they wanted to do a free concert in San Francisco. And they had a lot of trouble getting it put together because no one really wanted to do it. Everyone knew that it was going to be a pain in the ass. It was going to be a hassle. They couldn't find a venue. And when they finally found one, everybody involved I think, really kind of dicked everything up. First of all, they had no security because they were afraid everyone was going to get arrested because everyone was doing drugs, which I'll talk about in a second. So they instead decided to get the biker gang, the Hells Angels, to do the security. And according to the Hells Angels, their role was not really to police people, but was to sit on the edge of the stage and basically keep people off the stage. Well, that escalated into basically them brawling with audience members, beating them over the heads and backs, and ultimately, in the end, stabbing one guy. Now, to be fair, the guy did have a gun, so 6 of one, half a dozen the other. Gimme Shelter is an interesting look at sort of the final days of that kind of 60s era, peace and love. And it's really funny because Mick Jagger keeps saying, come on guys, we can get it together. Come on, brothers and sisters, we can get this together. I mean, it's very kind of like revival-esque. You know, it almost feels like you're at a revival to some degree, the way that they talk, but it also talks about how completely naive everyone involved was, and how completely naive the Stones were in terms of putting this together. There's so many things, but really the standout thing for me in this movie is essentially this is what happened. They hired a bunch of biker gangs to police a group of really like hippies who got there very early in the day, started drinking, started taking psychedelic drugs, LSD and PCP and whatever the hell else they could get a hold of. They're drinking out of these huge jugs, wine or whatever the hell they had. And so by the time the Rolling Stones started playing, which is later on at night, I mean, these kids got there like 6 in the morning. And they're fucking loaded out of their mind. And the biker gang has just been fucking drinking all day. So you've got, like, the people who are supposed to be policing the audience drunk out of their fucking mind. You got the audience fucking doped up out of their mind. And, of course, there's going to be a fucking brawl. I'm surprised more people didn't get killed. And they make no apologies. None at all with showing these people. I mean, they're just people completely whacked out of their fucking mind. There's this one big fat dude who's so fucking loaded. He took off all of his clothes, just dangling in the wind, just sort of standing there like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. There's like 12 dudes who are just like getting their kid off. And you're just like, oh, God, please. It's an interesting documentary if you're interested in rock and roll, if you're interested in kind of behind the scenes, or if you're just interested in what sort of went down. I definitely say check this out. But also the thing is, there's not a lot of special features other than an audio commentary and some other stuff. I didn't really think that this was the greatest documentary of all time. I think what it was is people kind of get very excited about it because, you know, this murder takes place and it's real, and they caught, you know, most of it on film. And it is kind of a metaphor to some degree about the death of the 60s and the death of that kind of mentality. But really, I think what it is it's kind of the influence of these very hard drugs on these people, and they just make them go like mental patients. Anyways, it's an okay movie. It made me more depressed than anything. The transfer on this one was okay. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it's a 16mm film. It's very bright. It's very vivid. There's a couple of scenes where, you know, the colors are a little washed out or blown out. But overall, I thought it was a good, solid 4-star transfer. I don't think it's ever going to look any better. I mean, it's an almost kind of immaculate print in terms of a lot of the, you know, damage that you would expect to see. Just isn't there. There are a couple of scenes where it really looks bad, but it's not going to totally blow you out of the water, but it is the best that this film has ever looked. So it comes packed with 2 DTS HD master audios, a 5.1 and a 2.0. It also comes with an audio commentary. Overall, I definitely think you should check this out. It's a very interesting documentary, and it's a pretty decent Blu-ray. And of course, if you can find it for cheap. That's it. Peace.